Right. 6 a.m. pretty much on the dot. 52 degrees out, and I'm shivering. I am like, I don't think it's 52, man. It feels much colder than that. Oh my god. So hopefully the gym has the heat on or something, because this is not an ideal condition. Not an ideal condition for any type of lifting, in my opinion. I've kind of noticed just over the years, there are some gyms, specifically like any of those like powerlifting gyms, they are always freezing. And I don't really know why. I don't get it, because from what I understand about human physiology, the colder you are, the harder your whole, everything has to work to keep yourself at a baseline temperature. So I feel like if you're doing that, on top of trying to lift some heavy weight, kind of takes away a little bit of the energy you've got floating around. But I guess it's so insignificant that it doesn't really matter. Anyways, that's the weather report for the day. So I know everybody was wondering about that, but we've got back today, and I don't really know what I want to do for back, to be honest. Last back day I did some pretty heavy dumbbell rows, and that felt pretty decent, but it didn't give me that like ooh, that I was looking for. And I really I don't have a hankering for barbell rows. Yeah, just my body is not telling me like, yeah, that's it, that's the thing, because anytime I'm like planning, or I say planning out my lifts, this is planning out my lift, like right here with what you're hearing me yap about, that's just what goes on in my mind if the camera's not here. So I always like to go based off of like feeling, because I think we all know the feeling of, you have a programmed day. Let's say it's it's back day. All right, you're going in, and your program has you doing 3 sets of not 3 sets of yawning, 3 sets of barbell rows. All right, and your immediate response to that is, barbell rows. Dude, I don't want to do barbell rows today. I'm like tired of that, or whatever your reason is. I think we all know that feeling. And I kind of mentioned before, I think the mental aspect of the gym is like super important in just like your overall intensity and overall progression. So if you're not feeling it, chances are you're not going to kill it, right? Now, I'd rather you do a lift and, not be feeling it, but still do it. I'd rather have that than not doing a lift at all. I'm not going that far into the extreme. But the point I'm trying to make is, once you're experienced enough, you kind of have a grab bag of so many different lifts that can target the same muscle group. So if you're not feeling one thing on this day, just do something else. If you're like, if it sounds like it'll feel better, So that's how I like to go about it. I listen to my body and kind of go off of there. Much like a craving for specific types of food, this body craves lifts of different varieties at different frequencies. So I could start with like lat pull downs. I don't do that too often. I could say, F it. we're gonna do a bunch of lat pull downs, or no, a bunch of pull ups. You know, that could certainly be an option. Man, it's a tough choice. It's a really tough choice. Back's one of my most fun days, just because I can kind of load up a good amount of weight. So I hate to waste it. I say waste it. I hate to waste it when doing something not as fun. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll get some inspiration while I'm warming up. Also, sorry about the congestion. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the rapid fluctuation of temperatures. Like yesterday in the morning, it was about 40, or whatever I said it was during my morning report yesterday. And then around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it was 82 out. That is a 40-degree jump in temperatures. So pretty concerning. But I don't have the power to fix any of that. So, but I think that's kind of messing with my sinuses and all that. So, whatever. Update on the weight situation right now. We are at a new low weight. It's not a huge jump in difference, so that's why I'm not going to label the video that. Maybe I will. Who knows? But we are, as of yesterday, 184. 184.6. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of pretty cool. Yeah, so this last weekend that passed by us, it was like a birthday weekend, so that was if you're not in prep and you're just cutting weight kind of like how I am, I think it's fine every now and again to make an exception, just for your deficit and all that, because it's my family, my friends, and I've been on the deficit for so long. Sometimes it's okay, so I pounded through a box of crumble cookie over the course of that weekend. I'm not gonna lie, man, I decimated it. It was amazing. And I was kind of expecting my weight to jump up, maybe even dip into the 190 range again, but surprisingly enough, we're still going down. We are still dropping down in weight. So that kind of tells me that the deep deficit that I've kind of been in is supporting the process pretty heavily. We're in a deep enough deficit to where something like that really doesn't touch it. Now, don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, I really pushed the envelope and still lost weight. That means that I can eat more on average and get away with it, And that's not the case. That is not the case at all. The reason that I got away with it is because it's a once in a blood moon type of deal. Wow, that's a lot of cars. Now, if I was pounding a box of crumble cookie every weekend, or hell, even every other weekend, that this is just a regular part of my life, yeah, I don't think I'd be gaining any weight, but I certainly wouldn't be losing any more weight. I think I'd find myself kind of caught right there. And then you'd be thinking to yourself, oh, I'm in a plateau. I'm so low in calories, I can't drop it. And I'm already doing an hour of cardio every day. No, don't get yourself into that type of trap, man. This is a very analytical, logical process, all right? if you have all of your numbers adjusted to the exact ranges and thresholds that you need, then you should know, like, you can't lie to yourself, okay? Like, if you have everything set to these numbers that are going to work, and they have worked for you historically speaking, and all of a sudden it stops working, it's never gonna, more often than not, it is not gonna be a case of, oh, well, all of a sudden, like, I'm plateaued and I need to stop the cut, or I need to do something drastic. No, odds are you're not tracking something right. You're overeating in some realm or another, or you're slacking on your cardio. That's always the case. And I used to make that excuse for myself. Like, when I first started this cut, honestly, for the first like 5 months of this, like, I don't even want to call it a cut for the first 5 months, because it was just a bunch of messing around, you know? Like, I was not consistently eating at a deficit. I was not tracking everything that went into my mouth. Like, dude, it didn't work. So don't fall into that trap, and definitely don't make any types of excuses for yourself, because that just destroys your morale, and it makes it like a lot harder for you to like keep up the motivation, keep up the consistency, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I've let this run for a little while, honestly, but we're almost at the gym. I'm gonna sit here and kind of warm up for a little bit and just think about what lift I want to do. So yeah, I'll see you guys after the lift. Bye. All right, pretty good back day. Pretty darn good back day. Just to, you know, summarize the lift for the day, since I couldn't record anything. Started off with, what did I start off with? Warmed up, and then I did 2 sets of like close grip cable rows, just kind of bent over. 2 sets of lat pull down, which didn't feel that great, unfortunately. What else did I do? I tried out this machine row, but it didn't feel that great, so I moved on and did just some more cable rows, and finished off with some pullovers. We were set, man. Really good back day. Well, not really good. You know, this wasn't like the craziest, freakiest. This was just another one for the books, which I've kind of been hitting that consistently for the last couple of weeks. Nothing's been super duper crazy, and I know exactly why. I mean, it's simply, why are you beeping at me? It's like the lane detection. Anyways, the last few weeks, because I've been fasting, I have been nowhere near as hydrated as I normally am. Like, even when I wake up early in the morning and, you know, I'm chugging as much water as I can, that hydration is only temporary. You know, like when you're able to drink water all day and kind of consistently keep yourself hydrated, you're in a more saturated state. I don't really, it's like getting a dry sponge, covering it in water, and throwing it in the desert. All right, it will be wet for a minute. All right, it'll be fully saturated for a minute, but very quickly, when exposed to the elements, it dries out, man. And so that's pretty much where we're at. So I'm trying to stay as hydrated as I can for the lifts, but it'll just never be as good as you know, a non-fasted state. So yeah, given the circumstances, really good lift. Really can't complain about it. I finished off with some rear delt work, so just imagine any form of this, you know. Did some dumbbell, did some cable, and then I did some shrugs just for a little trap activation. But what was really exciting about this lift for me today is I got this new Garmin watch. I've been rocking the Apple Watch for a little while. The only thing I use it for is to track my steps. I like to track the workouts and stuff on it. Not for any real reason other than like I like statistics, and when you log all of these workouts, it kind of like gives you a graph. It's not super detailed, but it'll just tell you about like how many calories you burn roughly, very, very roughly. Your exertion level, which it estimates based on the statistics you give it, like height, weight, and all that. So it's just kind of fun to like peruse that every now and again. And it's kind of just another thing aside from the videos that I can lets me keep track of this whole bodybuilding. I hate to call it a journey, but you know what I mean. So everything that I use the Apple Watch for, the Garmin does better in every sort of way. It's just much more. It's a watch designed to keep track of this stuff, whereas the Apple Watch is more so a smartwatch with health tracking features, if that makes sense. So today was my first real day with it, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat little watch. I'm still getting used to it, still figuring out all the keystrokes and functionalities and what have you, but yeah, for tracking the workout and stuff, I think it did pretty good. I gotta mess around with it a little more because it wanted me to start and stop it for every single set that I did. So I kind of want to see if there's a faster way to do it, other than I'm about to start my set, getting hyped for the everything. Maybe I just finished an anime fight scene, or the music's getting really good, and I'm like, okay, and then I have to stop and fiddle with my watch for a minute. I don't like that break in momentum. So I'll see. I'll figure it out. But all in all, pretty darn cool. Plus, let me see if I can do this without crashing. It's got a little flashlight to it. So that's awesome. I actually used it last night before going to bed. Had to wander through the darkness, and I didn't want to step on the cat. Because he does this thing where when you're walking, he'll walk alongside you, and then he'll run in front of you and plop over on his back because he wants you to pet his stomach. What he doesn't realize is that he's exposing himself to being crushed full force. So you kind of have to tread carefully in the darkness at the apartment. So anyways, after the lift, did some cardio. The Garmin watch told me that I was a little bitch because it's still figuring out my metrics. So hopefully soon it'll realize that I'm not a pro marathon runner, nor will I ever be. I'm just merely trying to walk for an hour every day, get my steps in, and keep my heart rate at or above 130 during the entire thing. So it was kind of cool, scrolling through all the graphs and stuff that it gives you post cardio. That's what I was doing afterwards. So that's why it took me a minute to start recording this. But it's just telling you all about your aerobic exertion and all of these really cool graphs about your recovery rate, VO2 max, and now it's telling me that I should trade my bracket. I gotta figure out how to turn these notifications off. And it notifies me about stocks, which I don't mind about the stocks. I kind of fiddle around with that a bit. But sports as well, in general, breaking news. And I don't really care about sports aside from the bodybuilding. And I definitely don't care about breaking news. I try to keep myself shut off from all of that. Anything that is pertinent to me, I'll figure out. It'll pop up one way or another, but I don't sit there and turn on the news and do that, or scroll through news subreddits or something. That's depressing. That's depressing. The media likes to feed off of you know, the news that gets the most attention is always the most like shocking, or pulls on your emotional heartstrings, or is depressing, or, you know, that's what gets people viewing. Not so much like oh, you know, we just discovered this really cool endangered species, or yeah, I guess that's not, you get what I'm saying. I don't want to hear about like depressing stuff all the time. And I think that's a trap that a lot of people fall into, is when you get yourself in those types of echo chambers where like the only type of media you're consuming is oh, there's a war in this country, or this man has died, or hey, mass shooting over here. I don't want to hear about it. Okay, it sucks, and it's good to stay informed about like specific situations, but I mean, that it's not giving you anything, and it's not like, the bad thing already happened. What am I supposed to do about it? You know, and that might be a cynical way to look at it, but dude, there's so much depression going on in the world. There's so many bad things happening every single day. Like, I don't need to focus on it. I really don't need to include that in my life. Like, you know, if I need a dose of depression, I'll watch like BoJack Horseman or something, you know? So surround yourself with positive things. Cut yourself off from that media stuff, because that's just not good for your mental. Yeah. Well, that's my motivational talk for the day. I tried not to like get into these like I think it's kind of cheesy to start spouting off stuff about, you know, dude, I had like 10 more seconds left, and it just ran out of memory. So to cut things short, I don't know, man. We've got ARMS tomorrow, so probably see you guys tomorrow for that. Catch you on the flippity flop.